Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC. It is April 30th, 2020, 9 a.m., right? BTC 8800, right? So we're going to start off with the 12-hour time frame because, like I told you previously, on my previous content, and I said exactly the most important time frame right now, it is a 12-hour time frame, right? So what were we looking for on the 12-hour time frame? We were looking for two things. Okay, we were looking for our MACD double top, right, for a bearish slash bullish setup, because I said if we double tap in this area and break it, it is going to be very, very bullish. Okay, so also you can take a look at your RSI. RSI was still making what, higher highs. Price was making high highs, and we needed MACD to basically join our RSI and basically price action, because MACD was still very, very weak. Right now MACD is pretty strong, right? Can the MACD keep up this momentum? That's a big question now. So what are we looking for in terms of bullishness? We want MACD, even if like we dip down all the way down to like a low 8K, the MACD, the next reversal sign, it has to retest the top, and it is going to create a lot of bullishness in terms of like a short-term price action. If the MACD going to dip down and retest, keep up with the momentum with the price action and basically RSI, because they all now moving together. High highs, high prices, price making high highs, MACD making high highs, RSI making high highs. It is extremely good in terms like a short-term volatility and a price moving higher up from now on, right? At least for the short term, we gotta be able to pay attention to it, at least for the short term, right? So now what are we looking for in terms of like a bearishness? All right, for the MACD, one thing we want to do, if like if like the bears want to basically keep the price down on the next price action, right, we're gonna MACD, if we get the crossover, of course it is going to be absolutely bearish, right? But the next crossover we're gonna get, the second one in this range, we want it to basically not break the previous one, or at least not retest it. If it retests it, it is going to be very bullish. So one thing we just have to do, price can make a high highs, it is okay, but we need to basically break this trend. We need to break it. We don't want all of them to basically do the same thing. That's going to be very, very bullish, so we don't want that, right? Similarly, if you go back in just about like January, right, you can see the move we made in this area, right? You can see MACD double top, broke it, we made a high highs, MACD made a high high. Afterward, we basically did not basically double top. We basically make a low high, price was going up, create a bearishness, right? We want to do the same thing. Okay, we want price to basically divert, right, from the MACD and RSI on the 12-hour. That's what I'm looking for a strong trend reversal, at least for the short term. But as of now, we don't have any. Even if we get a rejection down to 8K, it doesn't mean much, because we can still go back up. You can still do this and then do that. So do not be too bearish, at least for the short term, right? So let's take a look at 5-day. The 5-day chart, one thing we just have to keep in mind, take a look at your MACD. MACD is looking beautiful, as we said it, right? So we got a beautiful divergence on the MACD 5-day chart, right, for the bullishness. RSI, not much to say about RSI on the 5 days. We just correcting. You could just call this a normal correction. It could go a little higher before we get this capitulation in terms of like a price action, right? Keep in mind, RSI is not giving you any sort of good evidences in terms of bullishness on the 5-day, right? So let's keep that in mind. Bullish divergence on the MACD, price action making lower lows, MACD double bottoming, pretty bullish, right? So another thing we just have to keep in mind is like volume. As I said it previously, volume can decrease sometime and price going up, but at some point we're gonna need to break this trend. Volume can never go to zero, right? Volume can never go to zero. So we just have to keep in mind, if we're going to be breaking this trend line right there, we're going to break it. We're going to break it with a very big volume. Okay, as I said it previously, on a 3-month chart, if you go back on if you go on Bitstamp, right, on the 3-month chart, I showed you before the breakout, not after the breakout, right? So on the, on the 3-day chart, just about like the first week of March, right, I was showing you how the volume was decreasing from 20K all the way down to basically 3K area, 4K area, right? So you can see like volume was pretty much decreasing, and I was like, we're gonna basically capitulate, and then the volume we're gonna basically break this trend. You can also see it on a monthly basis. It looks better on a monthly basis. This trend line, right? We talked about it many times, and we said we're gonna break it. It is the same exact setup in terms of like the lower degree. We're gonna need to break the weekly trend line. If you take a look at it on a weekly basis, and if we break it with a buying pressure, it means like the bull is going to be very strong, and they could be basically facing much higher prices, at least for the short term, right? So let's keep that in mind. We do not want to break the trend line with a engulfing bullish candle with a very big volume. As of now, it is okay. We just basically matching like on Bitstamp, the volume is picking up, because you can see like right now we got 56,000, and I think the average is just about like 50,000 to 53, and we got like 4 days to go. All right, so let's move on to Binance. Let's take a look at it on Binance. Binance, we basically anticipating like I was expecting like 400,000, right, guys? We already got 400,000, just about like, and we got like 4 days to go, guys. 3.5 days to go for this weekly candle to close. It matters a lot. So can we get the volume we expecting in this range? Can we get it this week? Absolutely, because if we're gonna get another 200,000 to 600,000, I mean, I would say like 400,000 volume within this range, it's gonna give us 800,000 800K volume, okay, on a weekly basis. It is gonna be very significant, okay? So weekly volatility, let's see if it is going to remain the same. But if we break this area with a green volume, right, to match like the previous high right around this area, this 1 million volume, guys, it's going to be very bullish, okay? So but at the same time, if this volume is red, it means we're going to have to close below like a 75 this week. That's going to be doomed, okay? If we close below 75 before Sunday, it means like we're most likely going to be facing lower numbers. But as of now, we're going to talk about the lower degree and what area we need to keep in check in order to basically keep up any stay away from any bearish setup before Sunday, because closing below 75, 74, I would not be looking for any further number if we close below 75 range, okay? So let's keep that in mind, right? So let's take a look at the hourly time frame. A very important price action aspect on the hourly. I know most people are going to be panicking in this area, but no need to be panicking, okay? No need to be panicking. So as you can see, we dropped down below the 21 EMA on the hourly, and we got a bullish reversal candle. Volume was not great, but the selling pressure we got was capitulative enough to expect like price to move sideways. One thing we just have to expect in this range, it'll be better if price can basically dip down and give us the divergence. We're gonna get the divergence on the lower degree. If price can dip down enough, another drop lower, okay, it doesn't have to, but if we drop and retest like 85 to 86, it's gonna create some divergence on at least on the on the RSI, okay. MACD is still like MACD is still basically struggling to get a crossover. So on the hourly time frame, pay attention to your MACD crossover and your bullish divergence, okay. RSI can even double bottom. It all depends what type of structure we can get in this range, because we can get a triple bottom, right? We can get this move, right, and this move. So RSI gonna do this and do that, and then you're gonna get the divergence, right? So let's keep that in mind. It can be double or triple, you just don't know, but you got a reference candle on the on the 15 minutes reference buy. It means like you got a lot of buy orders in this area. So I mean, not buy orders, but price got bought up very very quickly in this area, and it is keeping the price up, okay. This level of 8500 range. So let's keep that in mind. You just don't want price to break this area like heavily like this. All right, so I would love to see it excuse me, I would love to see the price double bottom or triple bottom. So that's one thing you just have to keep in mind. excuse me on the on the hourly time frame. Another aspect on the hourly time frame, volume is not a lot. Okay, so you got big buying pressure, but volume is basically, selling volume is okay. So it means even if we drop down, it is, it could get bought up very quickly below the 100 EMA. I mean 100 EMA on the 15 minutes time frame, right? So and if you get this double bottom, you could anticipate multiple patterns, but I'm just going to give you a couple of them, right? Two patterns you can anticipate. If market is volatile enough, we can just double bottom. Price could try to make a some sort of a flat correction within this range and go higher, right? Or we can just make some sort of a basically triangle, right? A possible descending fake, descending triangle, something like that, before pushing to the upside. So keep that in mind. Even if we get this double bottom somewhere around 85, push back up to 92, 94 range, it doesn't mean we're going to break it. You do not basically want to anticipate a breakout from this from this area. It can, but the best possible scenario is like for price to get rejected, and we're going to accumulate more, right? Double bottom and then push to the upside. Okay, we do not have to retest the low. We can just make this structure right there. We don't have to retest the low, just like the structure we made just about this area. We got to move down, push back up, drop down, make a higher, higher lows, and still get our flat and then push to the upside. So you can anticipate that, this type of a structure. Let's take a look at it on the 45 minutes. Not much on the 45 minutes, right? So pretty reversing on the 45 minutes. So that's pretty convincing, right? So I would be looking for a possible break above this area of basically 89. If we break 89, if you like, let's say day trading, scalping, that's going to be a good opportunity to take it back to a 0.618 to basically 786 if you're day trading, stuff like that, right? Not financial advice, but keep that in mind. Bearish setup, if you bearish, we already got a head and shoulder. That's all you need to know, guys. You gotta keep that in mind. Just because it is price is going up doesn't mean it's gonna go up forever. You got a possible head and shoulder, but I just don't like the fact that these the right shoulder got so much like a momentum in terms of like a reversal by the candles, right? So I wouldn't be too bearish. Yes, you can push back up, get your flat, drop back down, get a triple bottom, and then push back up. You can do that. Like I said, you can triple bottom and go to the upside, but you just have to understand, for the bearish momentum, do not basically expect this move a 1-to-1 extension. It can, but I wouldn't be too bearish too soon. 1-to-1 extension going to take us down to like a 75, and like I said, we do not want to close below 75, 70, 75, 74 range within the next 4 days, right? At least for the short term. So let's take a look at Ethereum next very quickly. So Ethereum, I'm just going to talk about, it's the same exact pattern. So I'm just going to talk about Ethereum on a weekly basis, right? So as you can see, Ethereum on the 12-hour time frame, it is still looking very, very pretty much strong. As you can see, like we finally made a high on the MACD, right? And price action similarly to BTC just made a high, just like your basically parallel channel. So if we dip down on Ethereum, if you just don't want to basically trade Ethereum in terms of like a wave analysis, all you can do is just expect like another retest of this trend line. Okay, so and if we retest this trend line, MACD most likely going to cross over, right? And we're going to get another push to the upside. Most likely it is going to push back up, but you don't want your MACD to make another high. That's going to be very, very bullish, right? So let's keep that in mind. Ethereum, we want Ethereum to drop lower down to like a 170, 180, and push back up, try to retest like a 220 to 230, and we want basically our MACD to be fading away and give us this divergence down, right? RSI would be doing the same thing. You would be expecting some sort of a V shape, right? You would expect like some sort of V shape. It's not going to be this big, but let's see. You would be expecting some sort of a V shape, okay? Something like that, okay? And it's gonna make a a lower high, and you could be expecting Ethereum basically to start fading away. That's the only bearish setup I'm seeing for Ethereum, right? So let's take a look at the weekly basis. It is actually very bullish for Ethereum. Ethereum moving above 25 MA on the weekly basis, and we said when Ethereum was like a 140 150 range. Be cautious if Ethereum breaks breaks a 169 range. All right. Let's go on Poloniex. So King Ethereum, not King King XRP. So Ethereum is not the king, XRP is the king. So Ethereum, right? So as you can see, 25 MA, it is pretty much very clean, right? We previously got a rejection, got this rejection pushed to the upside after the 2017 bull market. As you can see how important the 25 MA is, okay? Was and is at the same time. So let's keep that in mind. Ethereum is still looking bullish. As long as we stay above this 25 MA, I wouldn't be too bearish on Ethereum. It can correct and do whatever it wants. You just have to sit tight, relax, unless you basically day trading it. But if you're swing trading it, you just have to let it do whatever it wants to do right now, and then basically you can look for some further move to the upside, and basically look for some rejection, right? Another important aspect of Ethereum, it is basically the 100 EMA. 100 EMA, we talked about it. That was our basically area to look for resistance on the weekly basis. As you can see, was just about like 216 to 220 range. That's what we said exactly. We're going to be looking for a reversal pattern above the 20 EMA on the weekly. So let's see if we're going to be able to get any reversal pattern. But as of now, I can't say we're going to be dropping lower, because you can see we got another reversal moving average just about this area. It is like a 293, okay? This white is 10 EMA, okay? So you can see it bang, bang, and bang, okay? So let's keep that in mind. If we try to if we're going to be dropping lower, we just have to do it now. But if we close above 220 next week, next target for Ethereum, it is going to be $300. All right, so let's just keep that in mind. It's not a one-day target. It is going to be like maybe a couple of weeks to basically hit $300. But I would not expect it like the first week of May or stuff like that, right? At least for the short term, right? So let's go ahead and add XRP very quickly. So King XRP is basically, it did well yesterday, right? And the day before yesterday, it actually, but it is doing horrible versus BTC. That's one thing I just don't like. It is like 2460. So XRP, what are we looking for? As you can see, XRP is basically making the same structure. It already made the structure, right? So XRP, you can see like as I've showed you previously versus BTC, not versus BTC, but comparing XRP and BTC, we basically got this impulse move down, right? And we got the corrective move internally, right? And then we got another impulse move down, right? So, and we got this move to the upside and got this move in yellow, right? Correction, right? So let's get this yellow. All right, so now we got this this move to the upside, but this move to the upside could be a bigger corrective move like this one. You can see like how we got this you know, flat correction within this range. This move could be the same move. Okay, we could just make this move. It can retest the top like a 32 cents and give us this move before the another nasty correction down, right? I would not expect like a nasty correction as of now, but let the price do the work. I would let the price do the work, and then basically you can anticipate like some further move to the upside. As of now, you know, XRP is similar to Ethereum. 25 MA also very important. A close above it, kind of bullish right now. It is coming down to retest it. It can drop all the way down, guys, to like even like a 17 cents again. We can drop all the way down to 17, 18 before pushing back up. So let's just keep that in mind. Just cause like XRP is looking bullish does not mean you know, it cannot retrace down. We got nice support at 18 to 17 cents if we capitulate down, right? Let's keep that in mind. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to cover. If you're new to the content, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and join our public Telegram group. If you want to join my premium group, make sure to basically send me a message, and I'm gonna give you access to my Discord channel. All right, thanks a lot for watching.